In one of these items that we choose, we have what we call the dancing men cipher. Okay. So this is actually taken from a book by Sherlock Holmes. May mga estudyante yan, pwede mong tanungin, ano? Minsan sasabihin, ay, miss, na ano kaya, nabasa ko yan. Okay. So, you know, you increase their interest in the topic. So, in the short story of Sherlock Holmes called The Adventures of the Dancing Men, a man tells Holmes that his wife, Elsie, receives notes with dancing men on them. This is actually a screenshot of a website. Kung mo makikita yung dancing men na yon. In fact, this website, hindi lang yata dancing men yung ciphertext na makikita mo, but there are also other cipher systems that the students can actually use. No? Panglaro-laro lang. And then the next thing to do after introducing to them the simple idea of enciphering and deciphering, we now go to the topic of symmetric and asymmetric cryptography. So there are two basic techniques of encryption. One is symmetric and the other is asymmetric. Kanina, yung ginawa natin is symmetric. We're using the same key in order to encrypt and decrypt. But nowadays, we don't do that. We want more security, so we'll be using what we call public key encryption. For the symmetric cryptography, you have your plain text there. You encrypt it using some encryption process so that it will become a ciphertext. Then after that, if you want to go back to the original message, you use the same key in order to obtain, okay, the original plain text. And that's different from the case of asymmetric cryptography. We use two different keys in order to encrypt, one for encryption and another key for decryption. So how do they differ? It's just basically the number of keys being used. Then you talk about, usually you want to talk about some background on this. So pwedeng actually isa sa mga ideas, no, some of the assignments that you can assign to the students is, you know, you research on the history of this public key encryption. Okay, so this talks about Diffie-Hellman introducing this kind of public key cryptography. So there you have again, paulit-ulit. So you want them to really understand the difference between public key encryption and private key encryption. Each individual is assigned these keys to encrypt and decrypt information. A message encrypted by one of the two keys, let's say the public key or key number 1, can only be decrypted using the other key, yung kapartner niya. And we shall call this the private key. So again, here's the same figure. Okay. So, more description on the topic of public key. The public key is available for others to use. Everyone knows this key. In order to encrypt an information that you want to send to someone. But, the one who's supposed to receive it can only decrypt that using the private key. But however, these two keys can be interchanged. No? Kasi key 1 and key 2. People can use the individual's public key to decrypt the information sent by him. The private key, on the other hand, is accessible only to the individual. Okay. Or he can use his private key to encrypt messages. Sabi ko nga, pwede mag-interchange yung role ng dalawang yan. So again, you use the public key to encrypt and use the private key to decrypt. Or, pwede magbaliktad, kasi it doesn't really matter, pwede rin naman yung isa pang-encrypt, tapos yung isa yung pang-decrypt. Parati silang partner. So the question is, why does this work? I'm going to begin with an example or an explanation. It is somehow very simple. Pero you have to explain to the students that it's not really that kind of math. No? So magsisimula ako sa math na actually, yan talaga yung pinaka-explanation bakit nag-work si public at saka si private key combination. It's all about the idea of inverse. Say for example, I want to encrypt the message, let's say my message is the number 7. Okay? So what I'm going to do now is to think of an encryption process. Let me make this simple. So that my encryption process is multiplying my message 7 by the number 328, which I will call key number 1. So the message 7 now has become 2296. Okay? So my plain text is 7, my key is 328, and the process of enciphering the plain text 7 is just mere multiplication. So 7 now becomes a ciphertext. So this is again the process of encryption. Now, what about retrieving the original message? So the question now is, what is the original message? So that when I multiply to 328, I will be able to get the ciphertext that I know now. So hindi ba? Para lang yung parang inverse lang yung relasyon, di ba? So here's the ciphertext 2296. You know that the encryption key is 328, and then so I can choose my decryption key 1/328. So that by just multiplying 2296 by 1/328, I will be able to get the plain text 7. Of course, sasabihin mo, okay, class, parang ganyan talaga yung proseso. No? But it's not really that simple. Okay? So, going back to functions, some of them may, natandaan ko yan. Actually, pwede mong tanong sa kanila, natatandaan pa ba yan yung concept ng function? Yes, ma'am. Probably, sasabihin lang nila yung yes, because they still remember the terminology, but probably the definition itself, maybe not. Okay? So, the encryption function here allows me to convert the plain text into the ciphertext by multiplying it by my encryption key. This example is again a very simple example, just for them to be able to see the concept. And then you have your inverse function, the decryption function. You multiply now the ciphertext by the corresponding private key or the decryption key in order to get the actual plain text. Okay, so now they know that there are two keys involved in an asymmetric cryptography. I had this YouTube site, nakita ko na tingin ko maganda siyang gamitin. So let me show you this YouTube. Hindi ako gumawa nito, may gumawa niyan, available na siya sa web, sa internet. So I just took this and allow me to show you this YouTube.
This is Alice. She is going to show us how to use an email privacy program. First, she makes a lock, a key, and a password to protect the key. Alice puts her key in a safe and protects it with a password. She puts her lock in the lockbox. Now Alice can encrypt her documents so that only she can read them. Alice's friends would like to be able to send her private messages. To do that, they need copies of Alice's lock. Alice sends them copies of her lock, and they put them in their lock boxes. Bob, Charlotte, Daisy, and Eric can now send private messages to Alice. Bob encrypts his private message with Alice's lock and sends it to her. When Alice receives his mail, she opens the safe with her password, takes the key out, and unlocks the mail. Alice does the same with the private message from Charlotte. Bob, Charlotte, Daisy, and Eric send their locks to Alice. Now Alice can send private messages to 4 friends. She encrypts a message with Bob's lock and sends it to Bob. Bob uses his key to unlock the message. Alice uses Daisy's lock to encrypt a message for Daisy and sends it. To make it easy for others to send their private messages, Alice sends her lock to the server. Now everyone can get Alice's lock from the server and write her private messages. And here is how a lock really looks. And here is how an encrypted message looks. Congratulations! You have successfully completed the encryption tutorial and are now ready to protect your privacy.
Okay, so I think that simple clip will enable our students to somehow get that idea of public and private key, no? Yung idea, paano ba nag-work ito? So each individual has a pair of lock. In this case, gamit niya lock eh. So meron siyang sarili na lock at may sarili siyang susi. So the lock itself has to be given to everyone, and someone who wants to send a message to Alice will be able to use that lock in order to encrypt the message. Pagbating kay Alice, gagamitin niya yung sarili niyang key. So that's the idea. You know, a lot of materials can be seen. Maswerte tayo ngayon, marami na makikita niya sa internet na pwede mo yung pang makukuha pa, baka mas marami pang mas maganda dyan. Okay? So, at this point, ready na ulit yung mga estudyante natin na titingnan yung medyo deeper na math involving encryption. So, this is where I'm going to introduce the modular arithmetic. Now, in our experience, we've been teaching mga CLA, hindi actually business, CLA students. So, majors are psychology, political science, merong international studies. You know, these things may not really be attractive to them. You'll find them making this reaction. Ganyan na sila. But you know, you just want them to see that there is the math behind all this, no? Modular arithmetic, actually parang ano pa to, no? Medyo magaang pa. Okay? So you talk about this definition, give them examples, allow them to do some computations. Let them experience the modular arithmetic. Because my goal here is for me to be able to show the RSA cryptosystem. Okay, so here's a short exercise, and then there I introduce the RSA cryptosystem. Pero niya, magkukwento muna ako tungkol doon sa authors ng RSA cryptosystem. R for Ribes, S for Shamir, and A for Adelman. And then you have some descriptions of the RSA cryptosystem. But this is how it works. That is based on the assumption that factoring large integers is really computationally hard. Okay? So you discuss about a little bit more about the cryptosystem. Sinabi dito, there are two focuses, no? Two ideas, public key encryption and digital signatures. Unfortunately, you cannot discuss all of them. So digital signatures, isa na naman yan. But you can actually assign this topic for further reading. Okay, this is not only useful for electronic mail, but for other electronic transactions and transmissions such as fund transfers. More descriptions of the RSA cryptosystem. Okay? And then I will describe here the steps on how to use the RSA cryptosystem by first generating the keys. Okay? So, hindi na ako magdedetalye dito, no? Because I really want to review yung ginawa natin last time para at least yung perspective natin is not more on on content, no? Kailangan matandaan natin ano ba ang purpose na mga pinaggagawa natin, okay? So, hindi ko na di-describe yung paano gawa nito, RSA, key generation. My examples here are all presented to the students. And then I usually use Google Sheet or maybe you can use Excel for you to be able to compute. Kasi medyo malalaking numbers yan eh. Hindi na natin kakayanin ng mag-calculator, no? So we allow them to use the calculator. Actually, pag mag-exam ako dito, I allow them to use the computer. Nandun lang kami sa laboratorio. Or, if you do not have that, you cannot use the laboratory, just use small numbers. Okay? So, and then, here's a description of the encryption process. Okay, the encryption process, you have the public key E for the encryption key, and you also describe the decryption process so that the private key is represented by the number D. So you let them do some examples, so you let them do some exercises on these computations. And then, after generating the keys, bigyan ko sila ng example para gamitin itong mga keys na to. So I have here an illustrative example. Okay. Now, you want them to see, paano nga ba nagagamit yan? So, this is a website na tinignan ko, actually, pwede natin sigurong gawin. Sana meron ako here. Okay. I have UCPB. Okay, UCPB. Pag-click mo, ay sana meron. Ay, wala na. Okay, anyway, ito, pag binisita mo yung UCPB, nasa it's a bank, you do some transactions here, perhaps you're going to pay your credit card due. And then you'd see here, pag i-click mo itong part na to, here's a description of the RSA encryption system being used by this website. No? So pag allow them to see na, ay, nagagamit talaga ito. Kaya lang syempre, hindi mo mapapakita na kung gaano talaga ka-secure itong mga ito. Hindi mo ma-describe sa kanila yung math na talagang mas heavier than the modular arithmetic. Okay, so you have the description of the RSA at work. And then we give them usually mga exercises for firming up. Usually mga examples lang yan ng encryption, mga simple lang. And then we also give them a little bit more difficult exercises. We call the deepening exercises, and also more on exploring usually mga assignments to, or more reading assignments. We always give these guidelines for them to be able to reflect on what they have learned. So hindi lang actually mga computations na natutuhan nila, but they will be writing a blog, reflections on what they have learned. We usually give guide questions like this. We hope to improve on this guide questions. So there you have. And then let me show you some sample blogs. Ewan ko lang kung makikita. Okay. So this is a blog from one of our students. Sabi niya, because of the advancement in technology, you do things now online, even sending messages or documents. For the people who are sending this kind of message, they need to have a security to be sure that the things that they are sending won't be stolen or copied by their competitors, which is where the encryption of messages comes in. Here's another blog. Now, so, using this blog, you'd be able to see yung mga thoughts nila beyond the computations that they did in the classroom. No? Kasi actually, pagtapos naman ng ano na yan, pwede na lang kalimutan yung mga crypto system na yan. Ano? Pwede na lang kalimutan yung modular arithmetic na yan. But they should be able to see the usefulness of math in what's really happening here in the modern world. So blogs like this will help you realize, talagang medyo nakuha naman niya yung importance ng cryptography in the modern world. Okay, so here's another blog. Cryptography is widely used to secure credit card details, emails, and documents. Okay, let me show you some sample quizzes. Okay, this is a sample quiz. There are very simple questions, but we do not stop there on actual computations. Gusto ko mayroon mga ganitong questions. Explain why the mathematics of cryptography is an essential tool in the modern world. So it's actually reflecting na, no? Hindi mo lang panay-panay math or pagka-actual na mga natutunan nila, no, the usual knowledge or the usual skills, but you want to see the real purpose of all of this. You want the students to realize the usefulness of mathematics in the modern world. Paano mo malalaman? Eh di syempre, kailangan mo silang magsulat, no? Reflection on what they understood about the subject matter. Here's another example. You usually give different types of cipher systems, mga simple. Okay? And the third example, I think ang ginamit ko ditong sample ay yung sa dancing men. Another activity that you can probably ask your students to do is to create their own cryptosystem. Actually, enjoy nila yan. Na-enjoy nila yan kasi feeling nila ay mga ano nga sila. Now, let me show you some of the videos that my students submitted. Ay, ito kasi posibleng nakita na ng mga nag-attend dati, no? But for the sake of those who have not seen those videos, gusto ko sanang ipakita. Okay. These videos talk about the whole course, Math Apre, Math Appreciation, which we taught in term 1 and also kanina itong term 2. Tinuro din namin. Kaya lang, at that time, no first term, maraming mga estudyante. 20 sections? Yeah, 20 sections, 15 teachers, all teaching the same Math Apre. And then it's exciting kasi nga, sabi ko, iba talaga yung approach. So, after asking them to write a math autobiography, describing how they feel about math, you see the negative feelings that they have. Kasi nga mga mga CLA, no? Kukwento pa nila yung mga past nila, mga galit nila. May mga hugot dun sa mga nila, descriptions nila. And in the end, you know, you want to know if you are successful in convincing the students that, you know, you should really appreciate math. It is way too cool. So let's watch these students describe.
I would talk to someone who is about to take math I would tell them to love and have fun because it's not really like hard math. Like it's something you can have fun with and something that can change your perspective in math.
So masaya na sila at that time, no? After na-expose sila sa different math topics.
That math is a very fun subject, and that I think you should keep an open mind about math because it might not be as boring or complicated as it seems. And you shouldn't cut math because I think you learn a lot and you'll have fun, and that you'll have other views on so many different things.
Abstract algebra yung cryptography.
Okay, one of these two students took math before. So, iba yung syllabus at that time. Iba yung mga topics at that time.
The math paper now is easier than what oh yeah, the one that I took my first term was very hard and more in more computing and not so much of appreciating math. So this is better because you really appreciate math and I can apply it better now to my everyday life. Thank you.
Sakit.
It helps you see math in a different perspective. the ones you didn't expect it to be in. So I learned math I saw math in a different light. Like, I didn't know it could be in art or in the shortest path or in linear programming like in the computer. So it teaches you different things about math and not just the general ones that you add, subtract.
Okay, these two I think are also repeaters.
Oh my God.
Don't be afraid of math, because the math for now is a revised version of what we had before, and it's actually more interesting and it's more applicable to life. And usually when you think math, people freak out. I don't want to do that. For me personally, I deferred math to my last term. Me too. So we hate math, but this class made us realize the importance of it for us and how it is used every day.
So it's actually, lahat ng hirap naman medyo okay na. Hearing these people appreciating math. No, you'll be able to see them, kasi nag-introduce ka ng isang class, which is really very difficult for them. For example, the RSA, marami talaga nasasabi niyan, okay, it's fun at the beginning when you do the simple ciphertext, di ba? Yung mga ganon, yung mga simple, mga like, for example, ginawa natin Pigpen, the Dancing Man. It's really easy at that time. Pero nag-RSA na, doon na sila nahirapan. So they would say, oh, it's really difficult for me to grasp that idea. But, ito yung sabi ng isa, nabasa ko yung it has to be difficult that way. Why? Paano mo magiging secure ang ang message ko kung masyadong madali yung math? So I do understand. I appreciate math. I appreciate cryptography. So, yun. So, again, I would like to recall yung dati nating ginawa, no? The PPP talk. So that's the end of my talk about cryptography. No? So medyo mag-wrap up na ako. Kasi this is actually the last of the two-part activity that we had last time. Now, for the sake of those people who were not here in part 1, I want you to see the whole point of view, why we did all this, and the end goal really is to encourage every one of us to help, to help the people around us. Magtulungan tayo para mag-prepare dito. Okay, so here it is. Ito yung pinakita ko before. Ay, sorry po, teka. Start muna ako sa simula. This is the slide I showed in part 1. Teaching math in the modern world. This is about sharing to you the DLSU experience. So we did some preparations, of course. Why it started, you have the K-12 curriculum, and then the new general education curriculum. And then, we talk about these topics that you are now knowledgeable of, kahit paano na-discuss na naman yung mga yan sa inyo. And the basis, of course, will be the MMW as described by Ched. Okay, so you talk about the nature of mathematics, appreciation of its practical, intellectual, aesthetic dimensions, application of mathematical tools in daily life. So here are some descriptions. Why did we choose math in arts and nature? Kasi nandyan siya. So we talked about fractals too. We talked about patterns and symmetries, we also include, hindi namin sinama inductive and deductive reasoning sa discussions natin. But here are, again, the goals, according to Ched, managing personal finances, making social choices. Natatandaan ninyo, nag-social choice theory tayo last time. We discussed geometric designs, and then we have codes and cryptography. About limiting resources, dun yun pumapasok yung linear programming. And so we talk about, we decided how we're going to teach this. Okay, meron kaming material, pero iba pa rin yung paano mo siya ituro. Andun yung content, pero paano mo siya i-deliver. So of course, Chad says we must use the OBE framework. We did our best. And there is still, improvement on how to do this OBE. And so we taught the course Math Pre, which is actually math appreciation. Tinutuloy pa rin namin ngayon, improving on the materials that we prepared before. gathering more sample quizzes, and of course, again, we are still willing to share all of this to you. Nakita nyo yung mga nasa baba, yung mga output ng mga estudyante. So we continue to do that because we want to achieve this goal of pag dumating na si K-12 children, yung aking anak na sa bunso, pass na siya ng grade 11, isa siya sa makikinabang dito. Kaya naman, yung nanay, syempre, extra effort, dapat ma-appreciate niya. Okay. And then you have the MMW topics there. Okay. So this is my team, kami-kami. Okay, except for Ma'am Ching, na talagang inimbitahan ko kasi alam naman natin na pagdating sa math education ay makakatulong si Ma'am Ching. And sayang nga lang at wala si Dr. Isagani Cruz, kung hindi nga lang siya nagkasakit, andito din siya. And I think he's also excited about what we've been doing. So, we did all these preparations, okay? And based on the things that you have seen, mukhang naging okay naman in our first attempt. And we will continue to improve on our tools, on our efforts, on the way we're going to deliver the course. Okay, so we continue to do this. And in the end, you know, ito na. Pagdating ng 2018, ready na sana tayo. Okay. I have some news to tell you about this partnership that we are cooking with MMSU. Sabi ko dati, di ba, pwede tayo magtulong-tulong, gumawa tayo ng yung mga seminars na pwede nating dalhin sa mga probinsya. Kasi nga, mahirap din naman talaga pumunta sa Manila. No? So, after all this, nakipag-usap ako sa taga MMSU kasi nga naman, at the start, meron na kaming partnership. Meron na kaming existing partnership. We now have our off-site program. Nandito yung mga estudyante nila ngayon at kaming mga faculty sa math department na nagtuturo. They are supposed to be enrolled. They are enrolled in our PhD program. So with that partnership with MMSU, we attempted to cook something para andun kami, no? Dadalhin namin itong ginagawa natin ngayon doon sa locality nila. So we're thinking of a 3-day seminar workshop. Tentative schedule is July 22 to 24. And Dr. Lawrence Ekarin is there, yung partner kong na tumutulong sa akin. Just to iron out the details. So, the collaborative efforts are the following for DLSU and kung sino mang host. Ito yung usual na magiging trabaho natin kung tayo ay magka-collaborate, kung gusto lang naman ninyo, no? So we have program design, sa part ng DLSU, we have the speakers, we will bring the materials, yung mga output na nakita nyo kanina, yung mga ginawa ng mga estudyante, pwede namin i-share. We also provide some templates para makagawa ng proposal. As for the host, syempre kailangan yung partner na sila na yung makikipag-submit ng proposal to the host school. And of course, we need the CHED endorsement. And of course, they manage the finances. Gusto natin kung liba magpapaano naman tayo, very minimal lang. So kasi naman, syempre gusto natin kaya ng mga mag-a-attend yung fee. Okay? They will also take care of the venue and of course the accommodations of the speakers. And of course, dissemination, invitation of the nearby schools. So, saan mas magandang kung per region, ano? Para at least maka-reach out tayo dun sa mga gusto pang makita yung pagtuturo ng math in the modern world. Now, so these are the steps to take. If you have the desire to host, kung meron kang desire na tumulong o kaya sumali, then you can contact us via email. We can create a program kung ano mas fit sa inyo. Then the host will prepare the proposal for the, syempre hihingi tayo ng permission dun sa administration ninyo. Kailangan natin humingi ng endorsement from CHED. And then we conduct the seminar. We will not only teach the content, we will teach the methodology, meaning, sige, pag-usapan natin yung mga tools, mga modules, and of course, mga sample output. So lahat ng mga ito is also just for the preparation of the event na we will be facing our K-12 students in 2018. Now, kung ano man yung nagawa namin ngayon, we are really open to criticisms. Kung meron pang mga dapat improve, we are willing to do that. So actually, ang ina-envision ko is sharing of materials. Sharing of methodology. You know, ideas on how to create exams. Exams na hindi lang panay content. Actually, ang magaganda nga, yung gumawa ka ng tipong mga project wherein they would be able to see how these maths are really applied in the real world. No? Pwede siguro in actual daily life, kung pwede. So, thank you very much for visiting us. Thank you for your interest and sana maging successful tayo. Maraming salamat. Ay, may questions pa pala. Baka may questions. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Yes. Oh, na-discuss ko yun nung part 1. Oo. So, meron kaming ganon. Ang nakalimutan ko ipakita sa inyo is our syllabus, the grading system, you see there. Yung mga quizzes, ng 20% lang. Kaya talagang masyadong, yung hindi natin talaga gusto silang pupukin doon sa math. Ang gusto natin, makikita nila yung relevance ng math. So, makikita yan sa output nila. Makikita yan sa vlogs nila, sa mga reflections nila. I can give you that, yes. We are all willing to share. Yes, ma'am. Yes. We are requiring our students to create their blogs. Ngayon, they have the freedom to choose. Kung gusto mo bang written, okay lang. Some of them, gagamitan ng Tumblr. May mga blogs pa, may mga ganon sila.
Saying that at the time they're going to have this course, they already must have had the computer class. They should know
Excel, the usual. Actually, kaya nga sabi ko, kung mga estudyante hindi okay sa blog, ayaw nila talaga magko-computer, okay lang na written. Kaya binibigyan namin sila ng freedom.
because I'm sure that they would like to have the blog, but not many of them may be having access to prepare the blog.
Online.
Yep.
Kaya nga sabi ko, pwedeng online, pwedeng actual paper. Parang collection of their written output. Pwede, actually, yung iba sa kanila, sulat kamay lang, okay lang din yun. Basta, as a teacher, you want to see their thoughts. So it's not about online vlogging, hindi naman yun online. Basta lang gusto mo makita yung reflection nila.
Is it nice to collaborate with those in charge of the laboratory?
Yeah, pwede din.
Because if the students would be interested to have the blogging, it's not our function to be teaching.
Ay, hindi naman po. Oo. Actually, alam nyo, ang mga estudyante natin na ini-expect, kasi nga sila yung nasa college ready, supposedly, nung nandun sila sa senior high at nasa junior high, medyo magagaling na yan. We're expecting them na magagaling na sila pagdating dito. You do not have to teach them how to do that, how to do this. Ready na. Sana. Questions pa po? Ikaw, you have announcements? Ay, hindi, yun lang.
So we would like to award a certificate of accreditation to Dr. Ederlina Nocon as a resource speaker to our announcement. So besides the winner, the next second winner, you've been given an evaluation form. So for those who have finished making their marks in the form, you can submit it here. Or for those who haven't, you can submit it at the ground floor, the lobby, where you will get your certificates of participation and your take-home snacks. I think you have your take-home snacks. Okay, so before you leave, the announcement of the second winner. The second winner is Annalyn Sia. Annalyn Sia. Saint. Wala.
Next time alam na namin, dapat per region.
Meron. Okay. Well,
Sige, wala siya eh.
ay,
Okay. Ay, nandiyan na yung contact number.
wala. Kukunin ko lang yung contact number. And si Miss, ano yung pangalan namin? Jenalyn Francisco. Well, thank you again.
Thank you.